Have you ever heard of number stations? Now, the first time I heard about number stations was a number of years ago when someone pointed me to a number station broadcasting from Russia. Now, what is a number station? Well, part of the reason they're so interesting is because nobody knows. What better person to investigate them than Sam?
Regardless of what you think of modern pop music, the airwaves of your local station are probably more listenable than one of the, incredibly, most listened to stations on the internet. Why so remarkable? Because the catchily titled Russian station MDZHB, formerly and better known as UVB 76, broadcasts almost nothing except this. Yes, this extraordinarily creepy station has been blasting beeps on shortwave radio almost non-stop since 1982, and in recent years has become something of an online sensation, picking up at times 200,000 regular listeners. We say it broadcasts beeps almost non-stop because every so often, once every few years, it goes crazy, broadcasting the greatest hits of Swan Lake, Boney M, and occasional code words or spells of silence.
УЗБ 76, УЗБ 76, 93, 882, на имена.
And it's inspired conspiracy theorists online, some of whom suggest it's part of a secret radar system, or perhaps even part of some doomsday device. So what's the truth behind UVB 76? Well, more educated theories abound. Paul Beaumont is co-owner of Enigma 2000, a radio group dedicated to tracking radio oddities and so-called number stations. More on those in a minute. He thinks the station may be a so-called dead hand system, which is just about as spooky as it sounds.
Maybe a worse scenario, nuclear war was to start, then buzzing would stop and the message was changed and alert people with a need to know as to what to do, where to go, or look for an alert system or something. It's something that's left over from the Cold War, happily buzzes away because nothing's happening, and occasionally passes a message.
So UVB 76 could be part of a forgotten nuclear Armageddon communications network. But what about the occasional voice messages? Well, the station's location holds some clues. For most of its life, it broadcast out of a site at Poverovo, 40 kilometres outside Moscow, but changed locations in 2010. A group of urban explorers later broke into the site, which was described as an abandoned but guarded military base. And they found a logbook suggesting the station occasionally broadcasts military orders. And on some level, it's still being used, because it carried on broadcasting after the base closed. But UVB 76 isn't the only radio oddity. Two more well-known and equally scary examples broadcast out of Russia, known by fans as Squeaky Wheel and The Pip. For many years, the West also ran these stations. One, known as the Lincolnshire Poacher and believed to be run by the British out of Cyprus, broadcast nothing but strings of numbers, and this. A nightmarish rendition of the folk song after which it was named. Another station, Cherry Ripe, broadcast from Australia and Guam and had a similar function, and both ran until the late 2000s. So just why are these stations still around in the digital age? Paul says that despite being old technology, the joy of shortwave radio is that it's very difficult to track.
Well, the number stations are an untraceable way of different governments contacting their agents abroad, some, I suppose, in hostile countries and such like, for the purpose of giving them messages. Whilst it would be easy to, say, use the internet to instruct virtually anywhere in the world, that will always leave a trace as to where the user is, whereas somebody just sitting anywhere you like, really, anywhere you can imagine with a shortwave receiver, taking down number groups wouldn't particularly be traceable and may not actually draw any attention to themselves.
We set out to get an official answer on the subject. We contacted the National Code Centre in Bletchley Park, who couldn't help, but then contacted British intelligence at GCHQ on our behalf. They, tantalisingly, responded that they didn't feel it's appropriate to go into the subject in an interview. Which is infuriating, obviously, and we wish we could give you an answer. But hey, that would kind of spoil the fun. And it also means that whatever the covert purposes of these pre-digital relics of the Cold War are, they're considered important enough to keep at least a few of them working, beeping forlornly into the night.
4, 5, 6, 5.
Let us know your thoughts in a comment. We always read through the comments, and if this is the first time you've watched Truthloader, hit subscribe. We upload videos like this every day. Fridays is Truthloader Investigates Fridays. That's all the content of UFOs, Bigfoots, and strange and weird things from around the world. If you want to check out some of our other content, check out our end board, and one thing you must do is hit subscribe. We'll see you again next time.